everybody. Thanks for joining me for another Woolly Wednesday. I hope you're having a great day. Or if you're watching later, I hope you had a great day. So today we're going to make some 3D flowers. We did 3D flower applique, but today we're going to do flowers that can live alone. They don't have to be applique. You can use them to decorate a hat or a bag or make a whole bouquet if you'd like. So we have a rose. So we're going to make this little rose. Hey Nancy. And I'm calling this a peony. So you can call it whatever you want, but another little flower, another little way to make a flower. And then I took, you might have seen me make this big sunflower a while ago, and it is adapted from our sunflower pincushion. I just used the larger petals of the flower to make this one. So then I took the smaller flower petals and made this purple flower. Lots of people here today. Hi Donna. Hi Suzanne. I'm glad you remembered to come today. And I'm sorry about last time. I accidentally posted on my personal Facebook page instead of live on my business page where everybody expects me to be. So the video is there, you can watch it, but I hope you weren't sitting there wondering, where's that Tracy? Okay, so those are the flowers we're going to do. So I don't know how many we're going to get through. We'll for sure get the rose made, but I will have directions available. So if you want the directions, you can just tell me that in a comment that you want me to send you the PDF or however I end up doing the pattern, or email me later if you decide that you want it, or just message me here, however. And don't forget to comment or like or share or somehow let me know that you watched the video today so you can get in on our drawing. And the drawing this week will be for the kit to make this pincushion. So my little tribute to Betsy Ross, whether she really made our first flag or not, doesn't matter. I think she was an incredible woman. And so I have a kit for that. So that's going to be, the kit has the beads and the thread, the wool, everything you need to make that pincushion. 4th of July is almost here. So, hi Kim, thanks for coming. Okay, so that's the drawing for today. So don't forget to make some comment or something so that you can get in on that. And then of course we always have coupon codes. So for today's code to get 30% off is summer30. Okay, so that's 30% off site-wide, everything on the site. And then for the rest of the month, if you didn't catch this today and you're watching it later, the rest of the month, so the end of the month is summer 25. And then we're going to do something else for the 1st of July. Okay, so let's make a rose. How's that sound? So the easiest way to do this, the pattern, because it depends on how big your wool is. And what I did was I cut a strip of wool. It's 1.5 inches wide by about 15 inches long. Okay, so it's just a rectangle. And I made an actual pattern so you can follow a template and actually cut this out. But I'm going to freehand it and just show you how I did it. So I'm going to angle the camera down so you guys can see better what I'm doing. Ah, Kim, yeah, sorry. I screwed up, posted it in the wrong place, but it's there to watch. I almost did that again today, but I figured it out. There, I think you can see. Pull this out a bit. Okay, so I have my 1.5 inch wide by 15 or so inch long strip, And I just made it that size because if you have a fat eighth of wool, that's as long as a strip as you're going to get. And you need to make 2 of those to make this rose. So one gets you this tiny little bit, the inside, and then the second strip makes it bigger. So if you've got a longer piece of wool, you could cut it as long as you want and just keep going to make it bigger. So what I did was I just freehand cut this. And starting down here, I just made a point and then just kind of freehand cut a scallop. Just a little wave. It can have more waves if you want. It's just going to change the shape of your flower. All right, and then I've got my needle threaded, and it's a pretty long needle. The longer the better, just makes it easier. And I'm going to start at this end with my little square end so that I can end where it transitions down to a little point. And all we're going to do is stitch a gather. You see what I'm doing? Just take long basting stitches. Try not to stab yourself. You can see what I'm doing. Some long stitches. Get as many as you can on your needle. That's where the longer needle comes in handy. Oh, I should have used a different color thread so you could see it. Oh, well, I'm sure you get the idea. So then, as you stitch that and you gather it up, it just starts to curl on its own, and you can see how it starts to make a flower. So we'll just keep going. This is probably the part where I'm supposed to tell you jokes or something. I just can't ever remember any jokes. Does anybody have a joke to share? This is where I should have my husband here. Neil, come tell us a joke. He's not even here. I don't know where he is. Nobody's here. Alright, we'll just keep stitching, taking big gathering stitches. Are you up there?
Yeah.
You have a joke to come tell us? By the time you have a joke that has anything to do with flowers?
Flowers.
While I'm gathering stitches?
No, but I was watching this show about scuba diving the other day. Do you know why the scuba divers roll backwards out of the boat?
No, why do the scuba divers roll backwards out of the boat?
If they rolled forward, they'd be in the boat. You're welcome.
Oh, to hear that? If they rolled forward, they'd be in the boat. Okay, thank you, Neil, for coming and telling us a joke. I can't promise we're going to get that every week. Alright, so I have this all... He did fill our time, though. All with my gathered stitch. And we'll just gather it up on that thread. Oh, and I didn't really say, but I gathered it along the straight edge, not the wavy edge I cut. Okay, so now it's where it's curling, and we just wrap it around itself. I'll have him work on that joke thing, and if I need him again, he can have like an appropriate one for what we're doing. Okay, so then you can see how those gathers all come around to form a circle. And then where it ends here, I'm just going to stick my needle in there and take some stitches, and I will just sew that together. Isn't that cute? It's even cute just one, depending on how big of a flower you need to put on something. All right, and then I'll show you on this one. So I just took a bunch of stitches through here to hold it all together, and then to cover up the bottom I used a 1.5 inch circle, and then I will just stitch around the outside of that. And then if you wanted to make it into a pin, you could sew or glue a pin on there or a clip. Or if you're just going to stitch it onto something, onto a hat, you don't even need that little circle on the back. You could just sew it directly right onto whatever. There, you could make it into a brooch or something for a little girl's hair. It's cute, huh? Okay, that's our rose. And then for my rose, I made some leaves. Get rid of this so you can see better. So I made some leaves for the rose, and I have those leaves on the pattern too. And I just cut 4 of these and stack 2 together, and then just do a blanket stitch around. Blanket stitch around the edge. Is that in focus? Can't see. Okay, blanket stitch around the edge, and then I just did a little stem stitch to do some veining in the leaves. So those are pretty easy, and you could just tack those down underneath to make your rose flower. Well, that didn't take very long at all. Let's make a peony. Alright, so here's my peony, or whatever you guys think it looks like. I thought it kind of looked like peonies in my yard. And to make this, I have 2 2-inch circles and 7 3-inch circles. And you know, it's really up to you how full you want to make this flower. Maybe you don't need 7. You can just kind of make them as you go and see how big you want it. But the way to make this is you take these circles and fold them in half, and then fold them in half again. And then just pin it together to hold it. Fold it in half and fold it in half again. Stick a pin in there. So after you get a few of those done, if you alternate them, you see here is where you have 2 little folds and then your 1 big fold, and I alternated that. So I have 1 big fold and 1 big fold, and I have them opposite each other. And then the next one, here's the 1 big fold, I put that up here so that they alternate. So I just hold a few together here, and I took the pins out. I did not get myself a needle and thread ready for this. Whoops. But then all I did was to stitch. Take some stitches here in the folds to hold those folds together, and then take a stitch that goes, use this big pin, in all of them, about right here, stitching through your whole stack. And do, 3 or 4 in your stack. These stitches down here hold that all together, and the big one I made through the middle is looser so that you can adjust it. So here you can see how they're held together. There's that thread that runs through them. But yet down here at the bottom of all those little folds, they're stitched together there too. Okay. So after I have like 3 together in a group, And then I'll take my little circles, the 2-inch circles. There's only 2 of those, and I did a contrasting color because sometimes the inside of the flower is a little darker. So I have those 2 together, and I would stitch those, stitch that little fold right here together, and then add those onto your circle and continue with that thread that goes all the way through. Then with the rest of these circles, you're going to do the same thing. Fold in half and half and add it on so they're just all in a row. Wish I had a thread to show you. I think you get it though. Maybe I'll do a little video and post it. I'm almost done with my video with the cotton braid ruching. I should finish that up this week and get that posted. So when you get all those done, and then you have them sewn together in a row like this, but you want to just complete your circle. Take your row and stitch it into a circle. And just kind of rearrange them so that they look like this, so that the little ones end up in the middle. And again, you could sew a pin on there, or if you needed to put another circle piece, here's a 2-inch circle so that you could put a pin on it, so you have a flat bottom to put a pin on it. Okay, that's the peony. Now this one, to make the sunflower one, this one takes 2 4-inch circles, and the smaller one uses a 3-inch circle. But I'll show you with the 4-inch circle because it's a little easier to work with. So you've got 2 4-inch circles, and you need to cut it in half. Okay, I don't have my scissors either. All right, fold it in half circle, and just cut it down the fold. Then you have a half circle, fold it, and cut it down the fold. So you end up with 4 of these little wedges with 1 curved edge and a 90-degree corner. Then with take your needle and thread. You can see I started here, and I did run a basting stitch all the way through. Whoops. All the way through on the curved edge. And then we'll just go to the next one. And again, basting stitch. All the way through. Just slide that down. You just keep adding them all on. Now, because I forgot to bring my scissors over here, I can't cut that other one, because you want to use 7 or 8 of those little wedges. So if you start with 2 4-inch circles, see how they just get gathered on there? And just pull it through. If you start with 2 4-inch circles, you're going to get 8 little wedges, and if you can get all 8 of them sewn on, and that's not too big or too tight of a gather, then that will work. Sometimes I just eliminate one, makes it a little easier to fit it in, and end up with 7 little wedges. Alright, so then we've got all these little wedges on there, and we're going to attach them to a 3-inch base. So we have this 4-inch circle. I think that's right. Yes, and a 3-inch base. So we would just get these all going the same direction. And gather them up tight. See, so there's half. I could easily get 8 on that circle. And then you can see how they would get attached. And you just kind of stitch them down along your gathers to your base circle. And these, let me see if I have some scissors. It's like 20 pair in the other room. Never any when you need them. We would just do the same thing with the 4 wedges we get from this circle and sew them here. And then we would need another base. We have a bottom base and we'd have a top base, and that goes on the top as well. So you can see here, if I've got this one finished, on the back, this is my bottom base piece, and that I used a 2-inch circle here because these little wedges were made from the 3-inch circle. And then I sewed another one of those 2-inch circles here along the top, and for that I did a blanket stitch, whereas the bottom I just kind of basted it because nobody's going to see that. I didn't think it mattered. So on the top I did a blanket stitch, and then I added these 2 other little flowers just for a little interest in the center of the flower. So they're pretty easy to make, and like I said, I'll put that pattern up on my website soon. Okay, I guess I'm done my demo. Does anybody have any questions? No questions. Okay, well, if you think of a question later that you want to ask about this, don't hesitate to put that in the comments. And if you're watching and you didn't comment yet or like or share or something, go ahead and do that so you can get in on the drawing for the kit for our Betsy's Beauties pincushion. So that's kind of fun for the 4th of July. And our coupon code, so forget summer 30 today for 30% off site-wide, and summer 25 till the end of the month. So thanks for coming and joining me today. Do you have a decorated hat? I don't. I have a hat that I decorated with the cotton braid. It's not right here though. I think it's in the back of my van with my golf stuff. But I was going to do that. I just didn't get it done yet. So I'm going to decorate a hat with some flowers. So I'll show it to you next time. How's that sound? Okay, thanks for coming. And Suzanne, thank you, Suzanne. Thank you for watching. And everybody have a great day. And again, if you want to see me do something, just make a suggestion. I'd be happy to show you any kind of demo I can. Okay, thanks a lot. Come back next week. Bye-bye.